What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com. I'm going to talk to you about this Monday night football game between the Colts and the Saints taking place down in New Orleans. If you haven't done so already, please start off by clicking that subscribe button. We are nearly there. We're looking to get to 2,500 subscribers by the end of the Super Bowl. I think we can get there, but you can help us get there. Also, going to be giving away, we're going to bribe you to do it as well. We're going to be giving away gift cards as well. So just got to make sure that you are a subscriber to be a part of all that. Be sure and give us a thumbs up on the video as well. And let us know in the comments how you plan on playing this game. Colts and the Saints, big game here. Even though the Saints are already in the playoffs, they are still in the hunt for that number one overall seed. Colts eliminated from the playoffs if they do not win this game. So be sure and, got to be sure and try and win this one if you want to have any sort of chance whatsoever for this Colts team. If you're looking how these guys have been, 6-7 overall for the Colts, 6-5-2 against the spread, lost 3 in a row and 5 of their last 6. So that is why they are in the position that they are in. If you want to read the full breakdown, as always, head to thelines.com up here and just click on the odds feed. Click on the NFL and just click on MNF right there for Monday Night Football. You'll be able to read this full breakdown right here. Saints 10-3 overall, 8-5 against the spread. They've, they dropped that crazy game to the 49ers last week. Both of those teams covered the total in that game by themselves. It was just wacky from the get-go. Did not play out like anybody thought. It was really, really nuts. Take a look at the lines on this game. We'll come over here to DraftKings. At DraftKings, we are sitting at 9.47.5. Over here on FanDuel, we're sitting at 8.5 and 47.5 over here on FanDuel. So if you like the Saints, you're going to head over here to FanDuel. If you like the Colts, you're going to head over here to DraftKings. Again, full write-up over here at the lines. Also full write-up over here at PlayPicks if you want to take a look at what Juan thinks about this game as well. I'll leave this up on your screen if you want to read along and see what's going on. Dome game, no weather to worry about whatsoever. Injuries are a concern. That being said, T.Y. Hilton, a true game time decision for the Colts, and that's actually a good thing. This is, true game time decision, usually a bad thing. Actually a good thing for the Colts here because that means they have a chance to get him back. He's been ruled out early in the week, the last several weeks. So the chance to get him back here, according to NFL Network, there is a, quote, good shot that he plays in this game. On the other hand, defensive back Kenny Moore is out. Pierre Desir is really, really questionable. I think the bad side of questionable there. So they're going to be beat up in the secondary. The Saints lost Sheldon Rankins and Marcus Davenport in that 49ers game for the season. That is really, really huge for this team to be down those guys. Jared Cook does look like he is trending to be on the good side of playing here, clearing the concussion protocol and whatnot. So let's take a look at this Colts offense, and I'll scroll back over here if you guys want to take a look. Oh, also, Monday Night Football promotion tonight. If you are a first-time person signing up over at DraftKings Sportsbook, if you play the first touchdown scorer and your guy doesn't score first, but he just scores at all, then they'll refund you up to a $20 bet. So just another way they're giving you some sort of free sweat in the game. Of course, we have other really good offers here. If you click on this, see 25 for free and then 200 risk-free bet. But just another little promotion that's running tonight on Monday Night Football if you want to take advantage of that. Colts offense, 22.8 points per game, 354 yards per game. They're getting that by way of 221 yards passing and 133 rushing. They are averaging 5.2 yards per play. They're passing only 53.3% of the time. So you can see they are still one of the more run-heavy teams in the league. They want to continue to kind of play that ball control style here, use Marlon Mack. He is back healthy for them as well. So that is how they want to go about running this offense. They have the number 16th ranked overall offense, DVOA, number 21 ranked pass offense, DVOA, 24th graded pass offense by Pro Football Focus, 12th graded pass blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. So you can see DVOA has them kind of middle of the pack overall offense, lower in the second tier of the league here in passing offense, second tier of the league in pass offense as well over on Pro Football Focus. On DVOA, they're actually the number 8th ranked rush offense, though. DVOA, 15th graded rush offense by Pro Football Focus, and the number 2 rated pass blocking unit overall by Pro Football Focus. So that offensive line's been getting it done whenever it comes to the run blocking side of things here. They are converting 43.6% of their third downs. They are 7th in the league in red zone touchdown percentage, actually, 63.8%. So when they get into the red zone, they've actually been scoring at a pretty high rate, 7th in the league when it comes to that. I'll flip back over here to play picks and scroll down a little bit further if you want to read along. On the Saints offensive side here, 26.5 points per game, 381.7 yards per game. That comes by way of 274 through the air, 108 rushing. Of course, Michael Thomas and Drew Brees have been unstoppable so far this year. 5.9 yards per play. They're passing at 61.4% of the time. That's actually the 11th most in the NFL. Kind of a different contrast from last year where they were one of the more run-heavier teams. They've actually gone back to the air again this year. Number 5 ranked overall offense DVOA, number 2 graded pass blocking unit, according to Pro Football Focus, the number 5 ranked pass offense DVOA, number 2 graded pass offense overall by Pro Football Focus to go along with that good pass blocking unit. So I don't have to tell you that the Saints offense is good. You've been watching this team all year. Number 9 ranked rush offense DVOA, number 12 graded rush offense by Pro Football Focus, and the number 4 rated run blocking unit by Pro Football Focus. So overall, top to bottom, offense graded highly by DVOA and by Pro Football Focus here, converting 42.5% of their third downs. But interestingly enough, they're actually 19th in the league in red zone touchdown percentage, way down at 55.3%. You would have thought from a high-powered offense like this, they'd be scoring touchdowns more often when they get in the red zone, but that's actually not the case here. Scroll a little bit more if you want to read how Juan thinks this total might play out again over at Play Picks. Absolutely free. You can read along. Saints are 22nd in situation neutral pace, and Indy is way down at 28th. So maybe a few fewer plays being run in this game. Both teams are kind of in that second half of the league when it comes to situation neutral pace. On the defensive side of the ball, Colts allowing 22.7 points per game. That is 360.7 yards per game, coming by way of 261 passing and 100 rushing. So they're giving up 261 passing, and remember the Saints are averaging way up at 274 passing. Number 15th ranked defense by DVOA overall. That is a 14th ranked pass defense and a 20th ranked rush defense. They're number 15th overall by Pro Football Focus, and that comes by way of like a 17th rated pass rush. So middle of the league pass rush, league average pass rush, 13th coverage grade by Pro Football Focus. So actually in the upper half of the league when it comes to coverage. But as we mentioned, down 2 defensive backs. Same can be said for whenever we get to the Saints defense as well. As a whole, the Colts are giving up 5.7 yards per play. Opponents converting 41% of their third downs. Now, Saints defense here, we're going to go with the caveat again. We'll remember that there's some guys that are injured here, allowing 22.8 points per game, 360.8 yards per game. They're giving up 266 passing and 94 rushing, so much better against the rush than the pass. Number 9 overall defense according to DVOA, and that's by 10th and 10th when it comes to pass defense and rush defense, ranked 10th overall in both. Number 7 rated defense by Pro Football Focus. Number 5 rated pass rush. 17th in coverage. Obviously, that kind of plays into these numbers that we're seeing here where they give a lot more pass yards. That being said, back to that pass rush grade, back to this defensive grade, back to everything that we're just talking about here. No Rankins, no Davenport. So this is a huge, huge difference here in what's going to be on the field tonight than what these statistics have played out over the course of the season. As a whole, giving up 5.4 yards per play, opponents converting 35% of the third downs. All right, so let's make a case over here, and I'll flip back over if you want to read along here. Let's make a case for the under. 47.5, let's make a case for the under. Okay, 2 of the slower paced teams in the league. So one case for the under could be one team gets out, to a lead here, and the other one, and the team that gets out to a lead just grinds this thing to a complete halt. They want to play slow anyway. It's situation neutral. They play slow. They're playing even slower if they get a big lead. So if you think that could go one way, and of course the spread leads us to believe that the Saints should be that team. If you want to kind of believe into that narrative here of how the under gets home. Another way the under gets home here, maybe T.Y. Hilton doesn't actually suit up again for the Colts tonight, even though he's on the good side. So there's just limited weapons there for this Colts team. I mean, Jacoby Brissett just doesn't have a ton of guys to go to. So can they do their part with, Jack Doyle and Zach Pascal and stuff like that? Because I mean, everybody else is basically on the injury. If T.Y. Hilton doesn't play, then basically everyone else is injured for this team. And then the other thing here, as far as playing for the under in this, is, as we mentioned, the Saints, for whatever reason, have actually been struggling a little bit in the red zone. I mean, way down at 19th in the league in scoring actual touchdowns. So even if they have success moving the ball, they might have to settle for more field goals than we would be accustomed to, from a high-powered offense such as the Saints. And we could be looking at an under there. Let's say we want to play the over in this thing, the over 47.5. I mean, this is a perfect environment. This time of year, we're looking at this. I mean, we saw this on Sunday. Wind games, snow games, rain games, all kinds of things like that. This in the Superdome, perfect environment, nothing to worry about there whatsoever. Another thing that could get us to the over, the Colts get T.Y. Hilton back. I mean, this guy has been a scoring machine for this team, and he's a big, big part of their red zone as well. When they get down there, he's just a touchdown scorer. So getting T.Y. Hilton, I don't think we can understate how big it is for this offense as well. Another reason could be the Saints defense has actually been a little bit leaky over the past few weeks here. Now they're down 2 starters to go along with the defense that was already starting to bleed a little bit here. Saints allowed the opponents to score on 48% of their drives since their week 9 bye. That is way down at 28th in the league. Only 4 teams worse than that for the Saints. So, and then of course, just the injuries situations could lead to an over situation as well. It's injuries in the secondary for the Colts, injuries on the defensive line for the Saints, if you're looking to play the over here on over 47.5. Let's look at some player props here. This is probably how the majority of the way that I'm going to attack this game. One of the things I do like here is plus money on the Jacoby Brissett over 1.5 touchdown passes. Getting plus money is pretty good in this situation, because I actually think there'll be some points scored here. We mentioned the injuries on the defensive line for the Saints. So you talk about those quarterback pressures and the pass rush, it's not going to be the same. So Jacoby Brissett should have more time to throw the ball. He should have more time in the pocket. And if he has T.Y. Hilton back, which again, I'm going to believe the NFL Network says there's a good chance of him playing, so I'm going to say he does play here. I really like getting over 2 touchdown passes here. Big road dog, so it should favor him having to throw more than he typically does, because in theory, game script should be that they're having to throw and play comeback. We already talked about this. Saints defense is much easier to pass on than to run on here. Under the radar as well, Jacoby Brissett's thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 7 games so far this year. So, I mean, he's getting there half the time as it is anyway. So this is a prop that's been getting there even without these injuries, and sometimes without T.Y. Hilton in there and all these things. So just another thing to keep in mind here also is that the teams already pass against the Saints at the 2nd highest rate in the league. So if we're trying to think that they're going to be passing more, it also fits just to the stats that we're looking at here, because the statistics say that teams pass against the Saints more anyway. So really like getting plus money here on the over 1.5 touchdowns for Jacoby Brissett. I think one of the other things we can look at here is, what do you think the state of Alvin Kamara is? I mean, ever since that injury, he just has not looked the same. So with that being the case, I mean, if you wanted to take a look at some of these unders on Kamara, I wouldn't hate it for you. Now, I mean, are these going to make my card? I don't really know, but I mean, look, 102 total yards here on Kamara. You're looking at his rushing total is 58.5. I mean, that's fairly high for a dude that's certainly going to be splitting some touches with Latavius Murray. They hadn't looked all that. And again, his receiving prop down here at 42. So just something to keep in mind. That said, really the thing that I'm looking at here, and I know it seems crazy, but I think Michael Thomas over 105, and I know that is just a massively huge number, but I actually really like the over here. I mean, again, with the injuries in the secondary for this Colts team, and we've just seen Michael Thomas get there every single week, as it is anyway. So pretty much looking at him getting to that number of 105. And then one of the last ones here that I was looking at, I want to make sure to get this in here. Total receptions here. I'm going to play the over 8.5 as well. He's been getting 12, 13, 14, 15 targets nearly every single week, and just incredibly high efficiency. He doesn't have a really big ADOT, so they're not throwing the ball down the field to him very much. And so actually for a prop like this, it plays right into our hands, right? Because if he's getting more high percentage passes, then the completion percentage is going to be higher. And of course, the Saints have the highest completion percentage in the league as it is anyway. So kind of going to attack this game more from props than anything else here. Whenever I'm kind of how I'm going to play this. Look, as far as the line goes, guys, nothing stands out to me here. I don't have a strong position on the spread whatsoever. The only thing, if you really, really want to play this, and over here at FanDuel, there is 8.5. If you find a game in week 16 that you're looking at, and you wanted to open a teaser leg to get the Saints down to under a field goal, I wouldn't hate that play. For sure. I do think the Saints win this game. It's just this number is way up there and it's in that weird kind of realm right here. And it's just nothing I really want to get involved with. So I'm not going to be playing a side here when it comes to this. But if I find an appealing teaser leg down in week 16 that I want to go ahead and anchor this to, getting over here at FanDuel and getting this down to under a field goal at 2.5, something you could certainly talk me into. But I will have a play on the over in this game, a small one. Again, I'm not jumping up and down to bet this game from a side and total perspective. I do like the props in this thing. I'm just not really super high on the side and total here. But listen, again, all the factors we mentioned that go into all this is the reason why I like this. Injuries to both teams on the defensive side of the ball, perfect scoring environment here. T.Y. Hilton coming back for this Colts team. The Saints should be able to continue to do whatever they want to on offense against this Colts secondary that's all banged up. I expect the Colts to be able to move the ball as well with those key injuries on the defensive line, not only on the ground where they've been very, very good all year as it is anyway, but through the air as well, getting back their top weapon. I don't think that, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Saints get into the 30s on their own to where the Colts have to do very, very little to help get this thing over the total here of 47.5. Full disclosure, as always, because I do this with you guys every single time, I took the over at 46.5 when it was sitting at 46.5. These island games typically continue to climb more times than not. So if you do want to play the over here, you're going to want to go ahead and get on this thing pretty much as early as possible. That said, if you want to play the under, I'd probably just hold out till right before game time. If you want to do that, I could see this thing going up and clicking up another half point, maybe even to a full point. It's just the way that people want to bet these island games. They want to bet overs. And so I can definitely see this thing taken up to 48.5 before kickoff. It's certainly not going to go down. So with that, I would just hold out if I were you guys, if you wanted to play the under in this thing. But again, my big plays here are going to be on the props. Really do like those and really do like that Jacoby Brissett over a touchdown and a half, getting plus money on that. I just think the value is too much to pass up here. And we're trying to look at value as to how to take advantage of the small little edges we might have against these sports books. Guys, as always, and I say this all the time, this is absolutely free. These articles, everything at PlayPicks, everything at the lines, absolutely free. So please go ahead and take advantage of those things here. Take advantage of this Monday Night Football promotion. And I said we were going to do it, so let's do it. If you guys guess the correct score, put it in the little comment section down below. It's got to be exact. So say, Saints 77, Colts 72. Like it's got, you can't just put the numbers, put which team. And if you get it right, we'll send you an Amazon gift card. And since we haven't been able to give one away yet so far, I'm going to figure out a way to give somebody something. So we'll figure that out. You know what? This is what we'll do. We'll go with, if no one gets the exact score correct, if you get the winning team's score correct, then you will enter into a drawing if there's multiple people. If you're the only one to get it right, then you win the gift card. If not, we'll do a drawing out of the multiple people and someone's going to win something this week. Damn it, I'm giving away something. I want to give something away. Again, as always, you got to be a subscriber to the channel. You got to like the video and be sure and leave us a comment below, guys. Really appreciate you guys watching these things. Hopefully we can get at them this week. Hopefully we can get after them and start this thing off right. I know this is closing out, but I always look at the Monday kind of as starting a new week here because this is when I start my prep for the next week. So good luck tonight, and we'll see you guys back here for Thursday Night Football.